Dear students, welcome back to Object-Oriented Programming using Java. This is V.S.N. Kumar, Department of Computer Science, Archer Degree College, Kakinada. In this section, I am giving you a topic that is scope of variables. Scope of variables. You all know what is a variable. A variable means a name we are giving to the memory location. Variable is a name we are giving to the memory location to access the value. In Java, every variable must be declared. We declare a variable with the help of data type, that is int, float, double, boolean, char. The variable that we are creating in Java program has a scope. Scope means the place where the variable is accessible or the boundary where the variable is visible or accessible is called scope. For example, we write a program, whether it is in C or in Java, what it may be, we write a program where we write program using, assume that main. In the main, I am defining a variable n. This is my program. So, where you declare the variable, that is important. I declare the variable in main. In main, I declare my variable. It means the scope means visibility or the place where the variable is visible. That means the boundary of the n is in this following place. So that this n is visible within this following area. When you are going outside of this function, this variable is not recognizable. Or when you are going to another function, this variable is not available. That means the scope represents the area or the boundary where we see this variable. That is called scope of variable. So, in Java, as in any programming language, each variable has a scope. The variable what you are defining has a scope. This is the segment of the program. Segment means the part where you define. For example, I defined a variable n. Now this is main. In the main, I defined one more variable s. Again, I am writing a function f1. Here I am defining k. So my C program is like this. What is the variable I am defining outside of this main? Outside of the main, it is called global variable. Global. What is its scope? Any variable that defined in the global location, that n is accessible in main, the n is accessible in f1. Means throughout all the functions, the variable is accessible. Whereas here s I defined within main. Within main I defined. So it is accessible only within this place only. Main. Here k I defined in f1. So that k is accessible within f1 only. This is what is called scope. So this is called segment. This is called segment. The main segment will be like this. So main means the global variable segment. So this is the segment of the program where a variable can be used and is valid. For example, I define s here in main. So its segment or its boundary is within the main. If I am going to write s in f1, it gives error. Whereas in f1, I define a variable k. If I use this k in main, it gives error. Because this is its scope, that is s scope. Okay. Whereas n is accessible in main and f1 also. The area where you are using that variable is called it as scope of variable. The very first scope of the variable is class scope. Class scope. What do you mean by class? In Java, we write program using classes. We write program using classes. For example, class, some class name. In class name, I define a variable s. And there will be some functions like void fn. Here in Java the functions we call it as methods. Void F2. Assume this is my class. Basically in Java, every program we are writing using classes. In class, there will be instance variables, and there will be methods. That means the variable S is accessible throughout the entire class. Here the S is accessible throughout your entire class. That means you use S in F1, you use S in F2. That means throughout whatever the methods are there, in all methods the variable S is accessible. That type of scope we call it as class scope. That means each variable declared inside of a class braces any variable that you are defining inside the class. This is class. In the class I define S here, or end of the method after I am defining int m. That means outside of the method, remember one important, outside of the method. Here S is outside, not inside. When you define inside, it will be called method scope. What I am talking regarding class scope, so that the variable declared inside of class braces, brackets, that is braces, with private access modifier. So that variable must be private access modifier. Now, no need to worry regarding private access specifier, I will tell you. But outside of any method, remember, don't define it inside the method. This is the method. Inside the method, don't define. When you are defining any variable inside, it will be method scope. Outside means between two methods you may define here, or at the end of you may define here, or in the above you may define here. Okay. As a result, these variables can be used everywhere in the class, but not outside of it. Now here I defined S. It means from starting to ending brace, you may use S in F1, F2 or anywhere. But don't define S in outside. Don't define S in outside. So this is what is called class scope. Okay. So slowly you are going to learn how do you write class programs. Now see this example. Here in my program, I am writing a class name, where I defined a variable amount, which is the type of integer, that is int. We simply say int. Assume the amount variable is integer type. Of course, private, public, protected, default, they are called access specifiers. I will tell you the next one. So here it is called a method. Here there is another method. This is your entire class program, where I defined my variable amount outside of this method. So this is called instance variable. The scope of amount is you use this amount here inside the example method, or you may use the amount in inside another example method. That means in the example method, another example method, in both these methods may use the variable amount. That is its scope. Now see here I defined a variable another. It is the type of integer. Of course, we write int as int only. Another as integer type. Its scope is within this method only. If you try to use another in the above method, it gives error, because declaration is important. I asked you declare outside of the method, but not inside of the method. It is inside of the method. So that another is accessible within this another example method, but not in another method. So we can see that class scope example has, this is a class scope example, has a class variable amount. This is called amount. That can be accessed within the class methods. That variable accessible within the class methods. What are the class methods are there? The first one is example method. Remember, method will be indicated with brackets. That's why it is called method. Here also there is brackets. They are called methods. Okay. So now the amount is accessible within the example method. That's why I am writing here, and the same amount I am using it here also. Okay. This is what is the subject, call it as class scope. Okay. The next one, we can declare class variables anywhere in class, but outside methods, outside method only. What is the meaning of outside method? Don't define. For example, here another is there. Another is declared within the method. So it is not class. If you want to declare another here in the middle or in the end of the method or in the above, this place or in this place. Okay. Access specifier of member variables does not affect scope of them within a class. Even if you are going to define access specifier, what is access specifier? Private. Even if you are going to define private, the scope will run as usual. Member variables can be accessed outside a class with following rules. Okay. Now I will give you the rules to you. Later on I will explain. Okay. Now there are 4 modifiers. We say this access specifiers. What are the access specifiers are there? Public, protected, default, private. There are 4 access specifiers: private, public, protected, default. There are 4 access specifiers. What is the purpose of these access specifiers? Okay, I will tell you now. See here, this is my package Aditya. What is Aditya? It is a package. It is a package name. In the package name, I created one class ABC. There is a variable n. Of course, methods are not required. This is my program. This is my program. Where this program is available? In Aditya package. Now I am creating another class within the same package. Within the same package, where there is a variable m and there is some program method. Both these classes are available in a package named Aditya. Package is nothing but a folder. Package is nothing but, in Windows we say folder. Both these classes are available in a folder called Aditya. In a package or in a folder you may write any number of classes. Now there is another class that is available in Java. Java package. Another package name called Java, where there is another class example, where there is int where there is a variable int z. Basically, the purpose of object-oriented programming is how you are transferring the properties from one class to another class. That is major important. Of course, I am writing this class for doing some action. In some situations, I need some properties what available in the another class, I want to get it into my class. So whatever the variables are there in another class, I want to get, for example here m is there, I need this m here, because I want to add this m with z. That is my concept. So this is the relationship between class to class. Now in my example, here I defined this z as private. In my class I defined z as private. When a variable is private, that variable is accessible within this class, it never go to other classes. That is like this, you are taking a private, a chosen, private chosen. That means you will be allowed to study there, because still it is private. That means when you define a variable as a private, that variable is accessible within this scope only. Within this scope. If you try to use z, it gives error. It gives error. Like here also, here into before, I defined private. When you define private, it means that n is accessible within this place only. If you try to use n here, it gives error. If you define m as a private, it is accessible within this area. In other place, it will not access. So this is what is called it as private. In case, if you are going to give list of private, if you are going to give public, if you are going to give public, now z is public. This is like, just like a public figure, means anywhere. Here z is public, so z is a public, so within the class it is accessible. But if you want to use z in xyz, it is possible that you access the z that is available in the example into xyz. The same z can possibly access into ABC. It will be allowed anywhere. It will be allowed anywhere. This is what is called public. Now see here, private. The private item in the package not available. No, because I told you here n is private. Private means within the class it is accessible. If I want to use n here, it won't allow because both are available in the same package. Both classes are available in the same package, even that won't allow. Because, for example, this pen is a private. Private means my personal pen, it is purely private specifier. That means I have to use it only. Even I am not in the position to give my sister and brother also. Okay? It means I won't give this pen to anyone. Whereas if this, okay, that is what is called. Whereas private subclass, no, because I told you a private item is available within the same class. In the subclass it won't accept. Okay. And world, for example, one program is in the following place in this package, another program is another package, just like this one. Even the private item will not be come into another world. That is what is called private. So in the private, what happened? It is just like a private where you define the variable within that area, it works. Then what is public? In the public package, in the packages, it will be S. That means I define here I defined as public. When you define a variable as public, it is accessible here within the class. At the same time, here xyz is also in the same package. So that here n also will be acceptable. N also will be acceptable. That is within the package, it will be accessible. So public within the package, yes. Subclass, yes. World, yes. That means, okay, that means any variable defined as public, that variable public within the package it is okay, into the subclass it is okay, the class that is available in another place, that is also okay. Whereas coming to protected, what is the meaning of protected? I am telling you protected means creating a relationship between two classes. We say it as inheritance. For example, class AAA extends example. Into Y. This is my individual class example. This is another class AAA, but I create a relationship between example to AA. because myself is different to my brother. He is a separate object, myself is a separate object, but there is a relationship between me and my brother. This is what is called inheritance. This is called relationship. For example, this is my pen. If this pen is private, I want it to use. Even I won't give this pen to my brother also. This is called private. If this pen is protected, protected means I'll give you my relationships, related classes only, related persons only. That means my brother is relating to me. There is a relationship between me and my brother. So that I'll give you this pen to my brother. In case there is another friend, there is no relationship. It means I won't give this pen to him. Here also, this Z which is defined as protected. Any variable defined as protected, it works within the class, okay, like private, but the Z is not accessible here because it is outside class. Outside class never will accept the protected items, but the Z is acceptable here in AAA because here example I inherited to AA. I assigned example to AA. That's why whatever the properties are there is protected, that Z will come into this place. So that how the relationship, how we access the variable, because so far its scope is within example. Now the scope of Z is expanded to AAA because protected items will accept within the class and in the inherited class. See here, the protected item package, okay, package. Here there is an item called protected N. I want to use N here. Yes, you can use N because both are available in the same package. Both are available in the same package. In case subclass, I told you, here I defined Z, but I extended this example to AA. So now Z can possibly access in this following place. That is this is called subclass. This is superclass because it is on the top. This item of example I want to use it inside. So what item you want to use? Example. This is called superclass. Where you want to use? In AA. It is called subclass. So superclass item protected will come into subclass. Now, world. No, because in a class the variable is a protected. I want to use this variable in another class. There will be no relationship. It means protected is nothing but a private. It won't go outside world. But it will allow only inside into the subclass only. Okay, that is the importance of this protected. Default. By default there is only one thing, that is if you are not defining any variable, for example, if you are not defining any variable by default, it is called default. Don't write default, I am just telling you this is called default. Here before int there is no specifier is there, access specifier, so it is default. Here before int there is no access specifier, public, private, but not there, it is called default. Default means any variable without declaring anything access specifier, now N can possibly access directly into within the package. Any default variable is accessible within the package. In case if you try to use N here, it gives error. If you try to use N here, it gives error because there must be a relationship. So far the scope is up to ABC, but when you define it as a default, the scope of N will come into the same package, that is Aditya package. It won't allow into other package. So like this, here also you may see here. So no within package, yes. So that's why in one class variable, I want to use it in another class. There must be the requirement of modifiers or access specifiers. So this is called access specifiers. It is very important topic. Once I start my class program, I will tell you practically. Okay. Now the next one, method scope. What is meant by method scope? A method you know already. This is called a method. Here it is called a method. Basically a class contains methods. Methods are nothing but functions, they perform action. We say the methods also called behavior, they perform some action. What action? Just addition or comparisons. Some action statements we are writing inside the method. When you declare any variable, here I declared a variable area as int, where I declared within this method. Within this method I declared. Any variable that you declared within this method is called method scope. That means this area will work within this boundary only. If you define the same variable in the class, that variable is accessible throughout the class. But here the area will work only within this place. If you try to use this area here, it gives error. It gives error. Because I restricted this variable within this method A. If you are, when you are trying to use area in method B, it won't accept. So when variable is declared inside a method, it has method scope and it will only be valid inside the same method. So when you declare a variable, it represents method scope. If you try to use a variable in another place, it will not allow. So that's why when a variable declared inside a method, this is method, inside the method I declare the variable as int, it has method scope, that is called method scope, and it will only be valid inside the same method. It will be allowed in this way. But this area will not allow here. If you want to use a variable either in method A and method B, then you declare it as a class variable that is outside of this method, you have to declare. In this method A, we created a method variable called area. I declared area. For that reason, we can use area inside method A. In method A, it will allow area, but we cannot use it anywhere else. The scope is up to within the method. If you want to expand this area from method A to method B, then you declare outside of this method. Okay. Now, loop scope. What is meant by loop scope? A loop scope is nothing but, see here, of course, no need of entire program. This is for loop. This is for loop. Of course, this is my method. This is my method name, iteration of names. Inside method I am using for loop. This is called loop. Inside the for I declare a variable, what? Name, as string type. String is the type. Here name is the type of string. Now you may use string, you may use name, you may use name within this following place only, because it is called boundary. This brace is called boundary. That means within the loop block that name will run. If you try to use name here, it gives error. Because I declare name in for loop, inside for loop like this. I defined variable name within for loop. So that's why it will live, it is visible, its boundary is up to this for only. If you try to use that name outside, it won't allow. So if we declare a variable inside a loop, yes, see here, I declared inside. It will have a loop scope and will only be available inside the loop. If you come from the loop, it won't allow. That is what is called loop scope. Next, bracket scope. What do you mean by bracket scope? Bracket is nothing but braces. Okay? If you define within the brace int n, this n is accessible within this brace only. Within this brace only, that n is accessible. So we can define additional scopes anywhere using brackets. What is meant by additional scopes? Now I tell you. See clearly, according to C or what it may be, I am writing a main where I define int n equal to 5. Again inside main, I am writing a brace, again brace. There is no for, no while, nothing. I am just creating one additional scope of brackets, additional scope. Here, int m equal to 10, print m equal to m plus 5, bracket close, print m, print n, m equal to 45, n equal to 500. See here, this is additional scope, this is my main method. Here I declare n within this main. I declare n within main. That means the scope is throughout from this opening bracket to closing bracket. That means you may write n here only, here only, here only. Because from beginning to end, the n is visible anywhere. But in the additional braces, I defined variable m. Here m I declared within this sub block, inside sub block. So its scope is up to within this sub block only. So that now you may use m here, or you may here within, because within this block, sub block, where you use m. If you try to use m in here, it gives error, because m is visible within this sub block only, but I am writing print m outside of this sub block, so that this m will not come to this place, it gives error, where the n is visible. Here m again error, because m scope is up to within this place. If you want, you may write m equal 45 inside, it works. But if you try to use m outside, it never allows you. That is important thing. So that we can define additional scopes anywhere using brackets. Whenever you want to use additional scopes, you try to write block begin, block close. So class brace. Okay. See here, this is main block. This is only sub block, additional block. In the additional block, I define number as integer. So that here number is accessible within this block only. If you try to use number here, it gives error. So compiler error, number cannot be solved as a variable. This is going to give you an error, whereas it is right. The variable number is only valid within the brackets. This is called brackets, because here I defined number. Okay. So this is what is called it as bracket scope. So dear students, this is what is called scope. Scope represents the area where variable is visible. So if a variable is visible either in the main and F1, it is called global scope. The variable which access only within the method, that is called method scope. So declaration of variable is important. Without declaring the variable, memory never be allocated. In some situation, the variable declared in one function may want to access in another function, and in some situation may not accept in another function. This is what is called scope. So there will be class scope, method scope, loop scope, block scope. So clearly see this class scope, method scope, loop scope, bracket scope, and so up to bracket scope. So this is the topic today, dear students. This topic is called scope of variables in Java. Okay. Soon you are going to learn class programming, where this topic is very much important regarding access space, public, private, protected, and default. So everything I will give you in the coming classes. Okay, dear students, this is end of section today. Okay, just read the follow the each and every topic either through material or through websites. Okay, try to observe the concept of each and every topic. So thank you all, have a nice day.
Hi everyone, this is Lavanya from Kakinada, currently pursuing my 8th semester of BTech in the stream of Electronics and Communication Engineering in Aditya College of Engineering and Technology.
Myself Bino from Aditya College of Engineering, pursuing 4th BTech in the stream of Computer Science and Engineering.
I am Sunanda, currently pursuing my BTech final year in the stream of Computer Science at Aditya College of Engineering and Technology.
I'm feeling great studying in Aditya Engineering College and getting a great opportunity, and as well as good support and training from all our faculties, HODs and placement cell.
And it's all because of Aditya, which helped me very much in every aspect of my learning.
After completing my plus 2, I thought of joining in the deemed university. But because of my parents' suggestion, I have opted Aditya College. When I entered the Aditya College, I have admired because of the beautiful sceneries and environment in Aditya College.
I'm very excited and proud to say that I got selected in one of the world's largest company, Amazon Web Services, with the CTC of 19 LPA.
In which I got selected for the role of Cloud Support Associate with a CTC of 19 LPA, which is the highest package among colleges in East and West Godavari districts in Andhra Pradesh.
I really felt elevated when I got to know that I have placed in Amazon with the 19 lakhs package.
Aditya is an amazing place which offers an unique combination of learning and self-development.
Aditya has also established a center called Technical Hub,
which provides a various varieties of technologies for students.
Thank you Aditya, thank you for providing this great opportunity to us.
I'm very happy and thankful to Aditya.
Thank you Aditya for giving me this golden opportunity. I am flattered to be an Adityan. Thank you.